In parentheses, chasing here. She had that
Applefire, not long. Furthest world, Ignite goes down. Ooh,
Ooh.
just great, actually, shuriken right there.
Just going for the snipe.
I mean, that is the key to Kennen. You know, a lot of his damage is based on that shuriken. If he doesn't land that shuriken, he's not going to have the same output damage. He typically maxes that first. And so it's really, good Kennen players are the Kennen players that can land that skill shot consistently, especially tied in with his Lightning Rush combo.
Yeah, I really like what the red team did in here. Not only did they have that aggressive counter jungle where they collapsed appropriately and they were able to pick off two of the members, Applefire and Miss Chili, but they also turned it around and was able to snipe that blue buff, which means once they get back into this kind of laning jungle phase, they might be able to go ahead and grab their own buffs and then make an attempt on Dragon.
So I actually want to give Christina a little bit of love here. She was actually down almost, I think it was close to 20 CS a little bit earlier in the game, but she's actually pulled ahead in CS against this Caitlyn, so she's been able to keep her farm up and keep it going. So good job to her so far. Although Applefire, after those kills in mid lane, has fallen about 30 CS behind this Kennen. So Kennen getting a pretty good advantage. Looks like he's going to pick up his Will of the Ancients. So he's actually going to have a lot of sustain in lane and start to do a lot of damage. And Janna, that unconventional mid AP, I don't know how it's going to work out for him compared to this farmed up Kennen.
As parentheses, with those two early kills as a jungler, what you want to do with that gold advantage is actually invested in an oracles, especially someone like Shyvana, who has really good ability to get around the map. She has that mobility with her burnout, and so what she can do is actually take away the enemy's vision and then turn that around into really strong plays, whether they're ganks or catching the enemy jungler out of position. I would like to see her once she goes back. She's probably going to look to build a Phage or a Wit's End. Those both have items with great on-hit procs. One being a slow.
Oh, we have the engagement in mid. Applefire getting that stun proc. Diana coming in, sealing the kill. Amumu coming in, thinking he had something there. I think if my bet is JetBlue actually didn't use her CC there. Could have maybe followed up and they could have made something happen. Now they're pinging for Dragon. They have that mid down, and it'd be a 5v3 at best at this point. Bubble's still up in that top lane. Doesn't have teleport. She's not going to be able to come down in on this with those wards. And looks like Caitlyn just trying to ward out a little bit. Miss Chili might make a play, but I don't believe it's going to happen. And red team really in command this game. I really like their play so far. And, if we can see that early oracles, they spend all this time warding, but if they spend all this effort warding, plus they're able to combine that with the ability to remove blue team's wards, blue's going to have no vision, and they're going to be able to snowball this lead that they're slowly building for themselves up around 2K really, really quickly.
I couldn't agree more. I think what we're going to see here from Bubble Doodle is if she can, she can really push past this turret and put Diana behind, because Diana's been actually getting out of lane quite a bit. We've seen her come down for that recent Dragon attempt. We saw her come down and somehow made her way into bot lane. I don't know, does Diana actually have she does not have teleport. So, I mean, she's been leaving lane quite a bit. So Nuno should be able to gain not only a creep advantage, but also a level advantage. And right now, she's about one level ahead. We see Applefire and...
Parentheses running for her life right now. Trying to burn out. Turn around now. They actually decide they want to go in here. That's a pretty risky proposition at this point. I don't think they can actually take this combo up in this top lane. They do have that ward up there, which is going to help them out. Kennen actually, everybody's rounding the corners, hey guys, what's up? We're not making a play or anything. We're just showing them that we're here, helping out.
This is team love, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you're going to go gank my lane? Whatever. I'm going to come counter gank. It's like, so I really like this.
It's like everybody has Boost Mobile. They're like, where you at? And it's all show up top lane.
So, bot lane doesn't see much action right now because everybody's having a party in top lane, and Diana's actually going really aggressive.
She's getting in there, and Amumu is going to get the sandwich right now. Alt gets a great one off, but Kennen says, my alt is better, is able to get the kill. Oh, the Howling Gale picking up the kill, especially with that Ignite, and now they're deciding to dive this or not, and I don't think they're going to do it. Looks like they're just going to back off, so trading kills right there. And tell you what, I'd like to kill that Kennen with how well he's doing so far, and I'd trade a Amumu for that Kennen in that team fight any day.
Yeah, I completely agree. As a jungler, you're like, what? I just sacrificed my body for the team? Done. Junglers while support players are the unsung heroes, junglers also unsung heroes. They have to, they can't be in every lane, although as many of you solo laners would like to attest that and blame your junglers, Don't do that because they're trying, and you probably screwed up somewhere that what's going to prevent them from ganking your lane.
So Bubble Duo, I'm really interested in what we're gonna get out of this Nunu pick, because basically he's been chilling top, he's been farming, he's at what is he at here? He's at 110, or she's at 110 CS right now, and Diana's at 78. So the farm advantage is going to Nunu right now, but the problem is that Nunu, like, his ult is pretty suspect. It's easy to cancel. I don't know if the Fed Nunu, it's hopefully it is going to be buff control later. They didn't have quite the advantage earlier they wanted to. Otherwise, we probably would have seen Nunu, combining with a Mumu, maybe with a jungle advantage, going and counter jungling together. We might have seen some of that action. But so far, we haven't seen that. So far, even though this Nunu is really farming up, I don't know if it's really going to be a huge factor as we move farther in this game, especially, if they can find a way to cancel his ult, which is where a lot of Nunu's damage actually comes from. After that, it's pretty much, a glorified utility character. So,
well, what I've been, and utility, you said that right. I've actually had a chance to meet and talk with one of a top lane 2K plus solo top Nunu players. Well, that did not roll off the tongue very well, but I had a chance to talk to him. I saw, I was investigating his match history, and before I get a chance to talk a little bit more about how awesome Nunu could be in top lane, Diana.
The preemptive absolute zero. Diana knows, is like, hey, I can't see you. This is not going to happen. I'm sorry, buddy. So Nunu, what we saw right there, in case anybody does not know about Nunu, if he's in that brush and he ults, you can actually not see his ring. So you'll walk in and then you'll start to realize that you are slowed. That is the danger sign, because you are about to take a lot of damage.
And actually, Diana getting a lot better of the exchange here.
Yeah.
But really quickly, what I've seen the builds come out from a top lane Nunu is they just go early GP10s and rush Frozen Heart. Between the ability to get free spells with Nunu's passive and that ability to deliver attack speed slow reduction, have really good lane sustainability, what we've seen is with that early Frozen Heart, it can change the tide of objective battles. And that's kind of what I've seen from this top lane Nunu player that he swears behind. Personally, if you want to hear about broken top laners, I think Jace is broken right now. But Jace is not in this game. We don't care about how Jace or how broken he is.
I'm waiting to see Jace in in a competitive format really break out, because there's a lot of potential there, and he has a lot of good laning mechanics that lead him to win lanes. I just, at least in our Judgment history, we have a really good player by the name of Valiant, who plays Nidalee really strong, and there's the comparison, but he's been able to win his lane in the top lane. But when it comes to team fights, if the rest of his team isn't on board with him, he can't. Jace isn't quite strong enough to carry. So I'm just see when he actually meets into that high level competitive scene where everything is equal supposedly with skill. If Jace is actually a strong enough hero to carry in the late game, with his with such a strong laning phase.